I've been really struggling to find a good night routine recently.
It's 10:30 p.m. I'm exhausted and I've stayed up later than I should have stayed up.
A solid night routine is so important for getting a good night's sleep and thus having a good morning and having a good day, and I've always emphasised and spoken about how important night routines are. However, lately I have just not been leaving the time for them. Honestly, I've been so tired in the evenings that I've just been neglecting everything on my list. This is what my current routine looks like. I finish up with whatever I've been doing that day and I'm exhausted. So after showering, brushing my teeth, I end up going on YouTube, spend an inordinate amount of time watching videos. Just because I'm so tired that I don't want to focus on anything, then I read very briefly and go to sleep way later than I should, especially considering how tired I am. It's a bad routine, yes, I know. But in today's video, I'm going to start to try and fix it and bring you along on that process. I'm going to be taking steps to improve my routine, get back on track, and hopefully start to get a better night's sleep and feel better in the day as well. If you've been struggling with this too recently, then maybe this video can help you. So I also have an ideal night routine. I make ideal routines every month or every few months, and this here is my current night routine, and it's pretty basic for me. It's quite simple, but even this is not working. I'm going to rewrite my ideal night routine because I'm clearly not sticking to the one I have. There are 5 main things I know I want to include in my night routine, which will make me feel my best the next day. These are having a clean space, turning off screens early, practicing good sleep hygiene, planning my day the night before, and reading because books are one of my favourite things. This seems manageable. First things first, planning. I like to plan my day ahead of time so that I'm ready the next morning. So that's writing my to-do list, planning an outfit for the next day, and packing my bag if I've got work. Next, cleaning my space. This just makes my head feel clearer, and it means that you start the next day off on the right note without all that clutter. Limiting screen time goes without saying. It's better for sleep. There have been so many studies which show that screen affects sleeping patterns, specifically because of the blue light. I already turn my phone on airplane mode every night, but I also plan on putting it on sleep mode and charging my phone on the other side of my room. So next is sleep hygiene. These are little things which basically will prepare me for a good night's sleep. Things like getting water, tea, a shower, skincare. A viewer also suggested that I cover my computer monitor at night to signify that I'm no longer working. This is such a great suggestion, and so I cut out a big piece of linen to put over the top of my computer when I'm not using it. I'm hoping that all of these little tasks together will help me to sleep better, but it's quite a lot of little things, and to make it more contained and more manageable, I am grouping it together as one thing. So what I decided to do is make a playlist which is 12 minutes long, which will act like a timer. So I've got 12 minutes to do these tiny things which don't take very long, but when all done together will make me feel a lot better the next day. In creating this routine, the final thing that I really paid attention to is structure, routine. Going to sleep at the same time every night is good for your health. It helps us to develop our own circadian rhythms and should help us sleep better. So I used all of this to make a new routine, and then I turned it into a checklist because this is just more manageable, and having something to check off for the first week of doing this routine will just help me follow through with it. I've been doing this routine for the last week and I have actually been sticking to it, and so I'm now going to share with you what my current night routine is looking like. So we're starting off with me doing work, finishing up whatever it is that I was doing this day. This particular day I was doing some editing actually. And then I will go down for a family dinner, and tonight we had pasta, so here are some terrible clips of us all eating. When I got back upstairs as well, I just quickly took out my contact lenses. I'd only got back for the night about an hour before, and I am trying to take my contact lenses out earlier in the day. It's good practice if you wear contact lenses. So then I just did a bit more work, and at 8 o'clock I turned off my computer so I could start my night routine and getting ready for bed. So the first thing, as we know, is planning for tomorrow. But before getting started with any sort of planning, I wanted to make myself some tea. I had some peppermint tea. And I just used my yearly planner from Pumpkin Productivity to write my to-do list for tomorrow. You're probably sick of me talking about it, but this is the planner that I designed and I am pretty much obsessed with it and use it every day. Today I had a pretty long to-do list, so I'd made a master to-do list too and tore that in half, which was very satisfying. The second part of planning is just choosing an outfit for the next morning. I like having it laid out so I can just get up, get changed and get on with my day. And I also put out some clothes for yoga because I'm trying to encourage myself to do yoga in the mornings. My room was so messy this night. Just look how disorganized and untidy my room is. It actually took me like 10 minutes to tidy. Usually it takes me about 3. I don't know what I've been doing today, but my room was a state. There's something about going to bed with a clean space. I always sleep better. My mind honestly already feels clearer. Before we move on to sleep hygiene, I've also decided to give myself a set time where I can go on my phone, I can watch YouTube, I can do these quote-unquote unproductive things, and I can give myself the space and the license to do it. I found that carving out this space actually prevents me from using social media. It's not something that I'm putting restrictions on. Next, sleep hygiene. And I'm so glad I've started doing this and just grouping together all of these tiny non-negotiables which I know will help me sleep better. You're about to spend 8 hours of your time sleeping. Surely we should try and make ourselves as comfortable as possible and make sure that that sleep is going to be high quality. In the most basic sense and definition of the word, that is productive. So I set my playlist and the first thing I did was cover my computer monitor. I also turned my phone on airplane mode and put it in sleep mode, and plugged it in on the other side of the room to charge. And this is the last time I will be looking at screens tonight. Next, I had a shower. I do have a shower every night, but I wash my hair every other night. Tonight, I didn't wash my hair, but this is the shampoo that I use because I often get lots of questions about that. And straight afterwards I will go to the bathroom to brush my teeth, and I will also do skincare. Honestly, I think skincare is mainly a placebo effect, but it does make my skin feel nice. Next is stretching. I've been doing this every evening and this makes such a difference to my sleep. I just spend 5 minutes doing a full body stretch. So now it's time to get into bed. So next I got into bed and I first of all spray my cushion with some lavender pillow mist, which again always just helps me sleep better. I'm using my 1 line a day 5-year journal. This isn't a set part of my night routine because I don't want to, as I say, overwhelm myself with this routine. I'm just trying to make it simple. But I have been doing this every day this week, including this particular night. I'm trying to get into bed between 9 and 9:15, which gives me plenty of time to read, so I will read for about an hour, and at the moment I am reading Babel. This book is incredible. I think it's going to make it into my top 10 books of all time. I'm just finishing reading for the night, and one thing which I'm so glad that I did, for as long as I can remember, I have always set my alarm the night before. I have never set up an automatic alarm to go off every morning at the same time, which makes a lot of sense, and I don't know why it never crossed my mind to do it. But it means that every single night before going to bed, I would have to look at my phone or my tablet to set a physical alarm, which means I'm looking at screens right before going to sleep. Sometimes, if my head was in the wrong space, I would end up going on my phone, going on my iPad for when I should be going straight to sleep. And I know that this is such a basic piece of advice to give, but if you're like me and you set your alarm every night, please, please, please just set it to go off automatically. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Definitely more simple than my routine usually is, but at the moment this is what's working for me. A night routine, at the end of the day, quite literally, a night routine, a morning routine, they're about setting up the rest of your day and they're about framing the rest of your day so that you can use that time how you want to use it and so you can feel your best. This is a night routine which for me at the moment is helping me to get back on track, and it's helping me to feel better during the day. A successful night or morning routine isn't based on its complexity or how many things you get done. It's about how effectively it's able to set you up for or close your day. And usually for me that's something very complex, but at the moment that's too overwhelming. Anyway, thank you again, and I hope that you have more than just a productive week. Also, I'm sorry for how performative this final clip is, because after turning off this light I do have to turn off my camera and I'm actually going to read another few chapters of my book. So thank you anyway, and goodbye.